Turn my headphones up.
We'll do it like this.
It's the loudest show around. Sundown After Dark with your host Brian Chamberlain, presented by Sundown Audio.
So we are live, and we do have.
I thought your name was Byron Chambliss.
We're live.
We're in it's the middle of the day. There's no agenda to this show. Just for those of you who watch this show and know about our annual Sundown Audio show. Generally, we get people in this podcast. We do a couple shows a day. There's no agenda. I try to get a couple people on that are going to show off some products, which is what we have on the table today.
Yippee.
We've got Spark Innovations and the Amp Lab going to show off some products today, which you guys who generally watch this show have seen these guys on the show plenty of times. It's usually once a year I get both of you on the show. So, yeah, we're going to have some fun.
Yeah.
F&A.
Why not?
Again, thank you for taking the trip down here to come to our show and have a good time. You, Ethan, had to fly because it's a hell of a drive for you.
Yeah, I'm done with that drive. Never again.
Are your arms tired?
Ed's over here, or not Ed, Rich over here with the damn dad jokes the whole time we've been in this room.
Yep. It's my specialty. It's my job, too.
Is it?
Yeah.
You just keep it going.
Mm-hmm. Make everybody feel uncomfortable.
How's your kids, by the way? How's all that?
Oh, man.
Are they still on TV all the time now?
No, just the one time with Kelly Clarkson, my son.
Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah, she apparently hates that. I got the benefit of when we were doing the recording. I was there for the unedited portion where she was cursing and like saying, shit, do it again, you know, that kind of thing.
That's awesome.
And she disclosed that it like pisses her off when people do the Kelly Clarkson thing.
Oh god.
Because when they meet her, sometimes they'll do
virgin?
that to make her laugh or something like that, and she's like, it's not funny.
Yeah, I'm sure she's tired of it.
Yeah,
It is funny, for the record.
It is. That's the best part of the movie.
your face is funny to me.
Them glasses, though. What's up with glasses? So you can see
Everything's
everything.
rosy.
Whoa.
Seeing the
Is
world
everything
through
crisp and clean?
Rose-colored glasses. No, it's so when I'm driving, I don't see the red light, so it's plausible deniability.
Oh, look at you. Something's going on with my screen over here. Anyway, so again, Spark Innovations in the Amp Lab. I don't know what's going on with my monitor, but it's going crazy.
Where's Amp Lab?
This guy over here, Mr. Ethan.
Oh, yeah, I knew that.
So who wants to go first and show off their new products they got coming out?
Let's go with Ethan.
I want to see Amp Lab stuff first.
Yeah.
They do cool stuff.
It's not an Amp Lab, it's the Amp Lab.
Oh.
Yeah, this has been out for a while. Actually, we've been selling a ton of these.
I'm going to do a product cam for you if my monitor over here will keep up. I don't know what's going on. So there you go. Perfect. People can see that.
There we go. So,
Oh.
So what is that called? What you have there in
so
front of us?
this is the WLC Plus. So we have like our basic wireless bass knob, and then this is the Plus version. It's got more features.
Okay.
And it's not here right now, but at the show, someone's going to be here with the only dual proto that we have.
Can we say who that is?
Yeah, everyone. Drew Jones is gonna. Oh, he might be here right now. I don't know.
Maybe.
But he's gonna have that in action. It's the only one. I don't even.
Somebody
have
text
one.
Drew and see if he's in the building. He can come. Tell him to come to the podcast room and bring the dual
Yeah.
module.
So, yeah, basically, you get a bass that you can mount right near your amplifier. It's just power, ground, and remote.
Okay.
And then you have your input from whatever your source unit is, from your head unit or whatever, and then. This one's just got a single set of outputs just to go to 1 amp.
One in, one out.
Yeah, exactly.
You could split off of that.
Yeah, but some people like we just started working with LAF a little bit ago, and he makes some that you get a bunch of outputs on the back. So if you
Right.
can use it as a distro box too.
I like
if
that.
you have a bunch of amplifiers.
Yeah, I was about to ask if Barnaby was doing your stuff. It looks similar.
Yeah. This is actually from Slam Panda, and then we started working with LAF, and so he's been doing a lot of stuff for us
So
too.
he's making the outside stuff for you?
This one's Slam Panda.
Okay.
But LAF is as well. Yeah, he's making cases as well.
Very cool.
Yeah, and he just he's going to be doing some more and more of our products. He was just talking to me about that as well. But yeah, so this is the bass unit. So the audio signal never leaves this unit, so it's not transmitting back and forth to the remote. It's basically attenuating remotely, but it's not the signal itself. It's just telling the level that
It changes the voltage output.
Is that a rotary encoder?
It is.
Okay.
Yep. And so yeah, and then this is the
So it has no idea what the signal is. It's just telling the unit to up the voltage, I assume.
Exactly.
So it doesn't affect the signal at all.
Exactly. You're not actually transmitting an audio signal back and forth.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So this is one of the Plus units. So this is the one with all of the features. This is.
Oh, can I see that? Let me. You got something going on here. Let's show the people. There we go. There's a display. Now this display, what is it showing you?
Well, if we had this hooked up right now, you would get which I obviously can't, but you would get voltage on the screen right there, and then yeah,
AC voltage signal.
No, this is just voltage at your amplifier.
Okay.
Just the DC in.
Oh, okay. So your voltage.
Yeah, just your DC
actual
into your
amps voltage, not the output voltage for the signal.
No, but
Okay.
we just have a if I can't really show you because it's not hooked up, but we also have the level indicator, so it tells you what level your signal is at.
Gotcha.
And then right now you can see like the wireless signal flashing. It's saying like I'm not hooked up to anything. Like,
Okay.
I'm not doing anything right now. Then you have a little bar indicator for the remote battery voltage, like the actual remote pack in there. And then you can hold it down and go into.
Oh, you got like a menu mode or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
So you get a
Look at
bunch
you.
of options, especially with the Plus version.
Now, does that have any stops on it? The encoder itself, the knob, is it infinite or
It just spins.
just keeps going? Okay, but it does have little
It
clicks.
does.
I like that.
Yeah, we tested both when we were designing this. One that was just completely smooth, and then one that actually has like
I
the
like
dimples.
the tactile feel of a click.
Me too.
I
very
think
much.
I think all potentiometers and amplifiers should be the same way. Like I
Especially-
like that. Like you did the itty bitty little clicks, like on a gain knob.
Especially with
think
bass, rattling everything.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah, it's
going
like
to
it's
go up
holding
or
it in
down.
place.
Yeah.
And
I like that feeling.
especially because we have like an actual number indicator for what level you're at. So I don't know. I feel like it kind of relates. Each click goes up a
Yes.
set amount.
Because
and-
that feeling, if it doesn't have any stops and you go a little too fast and it doesn't
Mhm.
follow you, you're like, "Ugh."
exactly.
I like that. Yeah.
And the Plus version actually has the option, a sensitivity option, so you can make it so basically one turn brings you 0 to 100, or you go to like the middle option and then it's like 3 turns 0 to 100, and then if
so
you
you
want
can kind
it,
of fine tune.
yeah. And then Barnaby was actually asking me about it because he does like an SQ car, and he likes the really low sensitivity, so he can really fine tune the bass level in his vehicle.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
For the trained ear.
yeah.
It's real smart because, with normal bass knob setups, you have RCA wires that are moving, and it's a physical motion, and so every time, it's just a matter of time before that phrase. Depending on how rough you are with it, with that, RCA's never move.
Exactly.
And everything's stationary, so that you can bolt it down, and you don't have to worry about that
exactly.
over time.
You can just bolt the bass down.
Okay.
And then it's the same thing for the remote. So if you can mount this somewhere in your
was that
vehicle.
was that got a neo a click?
Yeah, exactly.
I like
so
that.
You can mount that anywhere in your vehicle, and then this is the knob right here, and then you just stick it to it when you're
It's brilliant.
done using it. Yeah, and then we also have RGB LEDs on here.
Oh,
Of course you do.
fancy. Why not? Oh, does it flash with the music too?
No,
You gotta get one of those things in there.
but yeah, you can change.
I
the
do want to
color.
say a lot of people ask that stuff. Like we have LEDs in a lot of things, and they ask if it goes with the music. In reality, that's always annoying.
It is annoying. Yes.
Like because
100%.
the sensitivity is never correct, and
Right.
it just goes crazy,
And
or
it
it's just
has
on
to
and
go
kind
off
of
a
lightly.
specific frequency it's looking for anyway.
Yep.
It's looking
Yep.
for spikes at frequency level.
Yeah, you have to have a gate and set the gate for the music, but then depending on the music that you're listening to, it may or may not work. So you have to adjust the gate in order for it to even be effective. and it's just a big headache, and it never works out the way you want it to.
Way back when I first started building like gaming computers when I was a teenager, I had a little RGB. It wasn't LED; it was like neon light, and it hooked up like inside my computer, and you would run your speaker output into it and then back out of that to your speakers. So it like it would give flash the
I'm
music.
sure that was a clean signal too once it got
Oh
to the
yeah,
speakers.
of course it was. You didn't know any better. I was 15.
I know. Well, see, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about, though. Is we learn so much about signal degradation down the line, and how important it is to not like taint it, and that's exactly what that's doing. Is, I just
For the
love
record,
idea.
Rich just said taint.
Thanks,
I
Rich.
did. I was thinking about you.
You need to throw a couple innuendos in from time to time. We get it. The more of this we drink, the funner it's going to get.
I think
There
more
you
about
go.
Ed's taint than you guys might think.
You never
You've
know.
probably seen it enough times too.
No comment.
I have a question.
You
about
can't
this.
prove that.
Yeah.
It's just like Jake seen me naked more than enough times than anybody has ever needed
Hey,
to.
That sounds great.
TMI.
He does have a
Now
small
that-
mouth, though.
I do. I've had a special surgery because of my small mouth. It cost me $28,000 because of that. Yep, we won't go there. Anyway, this unit, the output signal voltage to your amplifier, is it adjustable? And or do you know what it is?
What do you mean? Like, can you change the limit on here?
Is there a gain on that
No.
on that unit?
No.
So it's whatever, it's in and out.
Yep.
Oh, you know what? So it's just like a pass through, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
And then you're just using this to modify.
And basically, if you have that on max, that's your max voltage anyway.
It's the same thing as it works basically the same as a.
In my mind, I was thinking for some reason it was
Like it was a line,
It's not-
line
yeah, it's
driver or
not a
something?
like a line
driver or
driver.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should add a line driver to that damn thing.
Maybe in the future
And
we've
then-
talked about
And
it.
you could do a line driver, and then you can do multiple outputs. That way, you have the same clean signal throughout the board.
Mhm.
That'd be kick ass.
Yeah, we're
I
already
could use that right now
Yeah.
because my RCA's backed out yesterday.
Yeah, we're already working on more updates like that, and there will be a V2 for sure.
Do you have any for sale here?
No, not here. No. Yeah.
We need, have you ever done a booth at our show?
No.
Because I know you come and hang out. We need to get you to like have
I
a
know,
booth.
I
Well,
know.
when the Aurora stuff's out, like fully out and everything, maybe you can bring that and
Yeah, that would be cool.
do that next year.
Troy
Let's-
and I, we were going to, because we haven't done a big show together in like a long time.
It's like Slamology was like the last time I
Yeah,
saw
it
you
was
guys
like
do
Slam,
something.
and I just was seeing pictures from that. That was 2018. So Troy and I haven't even gone to a big show together since 2018.
That was
so
back when you guys were making the battery.
yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
I remember that.
And so we were going to actually go to Slam this year, and then stuff happened, and that couldn't happen. And then I wasn't even going to make it here this year, and so. But next year for sure. I don't know if
That's
we'll
right.
do.
You
yeah.
said you weren't coming.
Yeah, I
and then
wasn't.
You showed, and you're like, "Hey, Brian, do you still have a couch available at your house?"
That was like 2 weeks ago. I was like, "Hey, I'm coming." Yeah,
You're always welcome on my couch.
I appreciate that.
How long have you guys been around?
Like our
Amp Lab,
business.
yeah.
So Troy started it. He technically started it like as just like a very very side thing to his regular job he was working. Technically in 2013, and then I joined him in 2015, and then we kind
As
of
a baby, he's still a fetus.
Yeah, yeah. So 2015, that was 8 years ago. So yeah, I would have been 21.
Oh, okay.
And then we went full time end of 2018. So it's been
Nice.
about 5 years. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
How many SKUs, like products, do you have?
Like
All of
that
them.
we developed.
Well, yeah.
Thanks for
Not a-
asking the good questions.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just
Well,
curious.
the thing is, I've already had him on here. I know these things, but
Oh,
you
right.
guys don't know each other that well.
Right,
so
right.
go for it. You know?
Also, congrats on the 5 years. Since
Yes.
going
Thank you.
full-time.
Yeah.
Big stuff.
I would say probably around 20.
Okay.
Yeah, like we were just talking to last night. I was talking to Barnaby about he wants to take on our RPCM and ALI and add them to his bass knobs, so people can just have like a universal clip indicator used with his bass
I
knobs.
like that idea.
We sell most people probably don't realize we sell a ton of all kinds of bass knobs. Like that's like the thing we sell most is bass knobs.
more
Not-
than
Wow.
refurbished amps.
yes.
Really?
Yeah, we sell so many bass knobs. Like
Wow.
Yeah.
By the way, you don't know if you guys know this, but the Amp Lab is our #1 authorized amp repair center for Sundown equipment.
Wow.
So
yeah,
that's-
so we've
that's-
been doing that.
yeah.
Yeah, we got in with that, I think around 2016 or so. It was whenever things happened with DBR.
Oh yeah. I think
yeah.
we were working stuff around with you
Just a
before
little.
DBR.
Well, because DBR, there was certain things they didn't want to work on, and we're like, well, we'll
Yeah.
do them then, and then other stuff happened.
well,
and
their
then
customer service went to shit.
yeah.
Or the one person that ran the company. He was great at what he did, but customer service wise was not his thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you. You guys do great customer service,
Yeah, we try.
which is what we need. You know.
Yeah.
Is it just you two?
Nope. So there's 5 of us, and hopefully adding another one on soon, adding another amp repair tech because
Wow.
yeah, oh yeah, we have tons. We have we are just filled with amps. I mean, Sundown alone gives us a ton. Which
Yeah.
before anyone says they're
Well,
failing all the time.
Well, not only do they buy amps from us to repair to sell, but we also send like pallets of shit to them to
Mhm.
fix and send back to us too.
Nice.
And Scotty has been talking to me. He's got tons of excess power chargers, and he's like, I don't have anyone to fix these anymore. And I was like, all right, send me a few. I'll see if it's something I want to do. And so he sent me a few, and it's fine. He was like super supportive with like schematics and stuff, but I don't have the time or the people yet to take on all of that.
Higher. How much you paying?
yeah. Well, I'm trying to get more people. We're at a point right now where we've just started working on an expansion to our building because we just don't have. We have
Again?
like no space.
'Cause
No,
didn't you guys just?
no, we haven't added on yet.
Okay, it was
Yeah.
like a year or two ago, didn't you guys? You got a new building or something?
We purchased the one we were in 2 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. So we were leasing it, and then we purchased the building.
Remember, 2020 never happened, so it's like,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Thanos' snap.
time's
Yeah.
just flying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 2020 and 2021, I think we should all just ignore and forget because it was a mess, and
Yeah.
getting through that it wasn't proper business. It was like a blip in time.
Mm.
It really was.
It was starting to normalize now, but it was like
We try to
survival.
think back to 2020, and we can't remember things that we did that. It's like it's like some weird shit happened
Yep.
that year
Mm.
or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it was very strange. Hi, JP.
He just pops in. Here's a bunch of people that'll probably be popping in and out today. What's up, Andy? Well, Andy, but there's another Andy here on the messenger thing. Living loud, Mr. Kicker, Andy.
Is he coming
Oh.
down?
Oh, Andy, are you coming? You coming to the show?
Yeah, if we made the drive, you can too, sir.
Right.
Especially with the traffic we had to deal with last night.
Ugh.
Did you guys do Turnpikes
To 81.
81, 77,
81
Was a
was
wreck.
every construction zone. There was an accident right after.
Virginia?
People trying to merge at the last second type of thing.
Virginia.
My favorite part of that whole trip is Fancy Gap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just like the sign.
So, like, right at the North Carolina-Virginia border, there's a place called Fancy Gap, and you're so high up in a mountain, you can see forever up there.
Does the Blue Ridge Parkway go over there? I think it does.
The Blue Ridge goes through, like up in the Roanoke area,
Yeah.
like we're 81, 77, that area.
Right.
You'll see that when you're driving on the highway, you can actually see a thing that says Blue Ridge Parkway.
Yeah.
So that damn parkway is all over the place. Crystal and I went to Lake Fontana a couple weeks ago out in the tip of North Carolina where the
Yeah.
Tail of Dragon is.
Yeah, I love that.
And every road you go on, I swear there's a thing for the Blue Ridge Parkway. It's like it zigzags all
Right.
these main roads.
It's because it's the scenic,
Yeah.
nice road.
It's nice. We've been on bits and pieces of it. You know?
Yeah.
I've never done the whole thing or like a good chunk of it before.
Yeah.
But anybody, if you ever visit North Carolina, you have to come visit the mountains. It's just beautiful out here in the mountains.
Definitely.
Not so much right where we are right here, but it's only an hour or two from here. So
It's still beautiful here. Don't
Yeah.
don't sell your area short.
I'd still prefer here than where you guys live.
Oh, yeah.
I've lived
too.
there for
Me too.
16 years, and I don't plan
Where
on
are
ever
you
going
guys
back.
from?
Philly.
Really?
Yeah.
Philly area.
I live like 3 streets away from Brian's parents,
He does.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
my mom's right down the road from him.
Oh.
And
which has been great for getting subs sometimes.
yep, there's been many times where I brought some stuff up to him, going to see my parents.
Yep.
Did you guys drive down?
We
Yeah.
did, yeah.
What's it like? 9 hours?
It
it
was
wasn't
about
for
12
traffic.
hours because of the traffic.
It was supposed to be 10.
supposed
Yeah.
to be, yeah.
Yeah.
I do that trip in like 7.5 hours. Just
Do you remember what I
flying.
drive?
No.
Dodge Journey.
We had our
Towing a
with
trailer.
us, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I understand. that.
6-cylinder.
So going down Fancy Gap wasn't as fun.
It actually did very well. Don't get me wrong, but still would have been nice to
Right.
have something big.
We should have tested those runoff ramps.
No.
Oh,
Don't tempt me.
I've always
I want a
wanted
new
to.
car.
I
I've
know, me-
always wanted to do that just to see what happens.
Me too.
If you
But
do it,
just
definitely video.
Sink in, you know.
Do it live.
Do it live.
Go out like men.
I do have fun memories of the drive up and down, but I'll share it when you're done. Then we can get on it.
Let's get back to the Amp Lab for a second. So, anything else you want to say about this piece here? And what's it called again? A WLC?
Yeah, it's wireless level controller.
Okay.
So WLC. This is. The
I'm really
WLC
surprised
Plus.
no one else has come out with this.
There's I think one other one out right now, and then someone else is releasing.
But you don't
one.
hear about them at all. And people ask about shit like this constantly.
Yeah.
You
Like,
know-
hey, Sundown, when are you going to come out with this? So,
I think it was either
Oh.
last year or the year before. Now that I think about it, I did talk to you. We were out back of that
Steakhouse.
Outback?
all drinking and everything.
Oh yeah.
And
were
I
you
was
driving an
I was-
Outback?
I was talking about a wireless bass knob, and someone said, "Oh yeah, he's working on that." And then, you know that scene in
Because ours was being developed
well,
5 years ago, and we still haven't done it.
it was like that scene in Billy Madison where he's got the recorder or whatever it is, and he blows really hard, and he goes, he's good. It was like, once I found out like how advanced this was and how far you guys had come, it's like, okay, you go ahead and run with that. We're just gonna crawl into under a rock and die.
That's how that goes, because I have really cool ideas. Like, I'm a dreamer, so I always think of really cool inventions, and I'll go on the internet and look to see if anybody's ever done it before. And then if I find out nobody has, but I'm like, oh shit, I ain't got no money to make this happen. Then Jake will, like a year later, but hey, Brian, remember that thing you were talking about? Well, somebody made it.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That's it's funny that you said that, because probably a month or two ago I was talking to Barnaby, and he was like, yeah, I'm gonna make a clip indicator for, because we had like talked about the ones we had. He's like, I'm gonna make one for our bass
You guys
knobs,
keep
and-
talking. I'm gonna post that we're live to get more viewers.
Go ahead. Yeah.
It is
And-
middle of the day. I don't know how many people are gonna watch.
And he was like, yeah, I'm gonna just give it a shot and make my own. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I hope. Good luck. Like,
Yeah.
and then literally last night he's like, all right, I started working on it, and then I realized you guys have already done it, and I'd just rather get them from you. He's like, so how many do I have to buy to get this margin? He's like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna get them from you.
We
And I was
were
like,
going back and forth of the same thing. He's like, well, I was like, well, do you want it to detect DC, or do you want to, how do you want it? And he's like, well, just a light. And then he's like, well, what if we had something that, you know, plugged into amplifiers, and it was like the way to control all of them, and then like he was just writing paragraphs and
Yeah.
paragraphs and paragraphs, and I was like giving like one word answers, like maybe, I don't know, we'll have to look into that. And then he was like, all right, just scrap the idea. So, but that goes to speak to the collaborative nature of our market, which
Yeah.
I absolutely love. In the past, I've seen, and it's getting a little bit better. In the past, I've seen a lot of like the whole savage, like, you know, protect our stuff and you can't see it, and you know, and Sparks.
To an extent, that's okay.
Well, it is, but
Like old
we've seen,
SPL competitors.
we've seen
I
it get
guess.
out of hand.
but you have to keep things friendly too. You know.
Yeah, and so Spark, you know, when we started, we had the goal of being more collaborative, and
And here we're on the show where Brian fancies himself the hub of collaboration.
This is true. I have a lot of people that have networked on this show, and now like they actually work together and do things.
And
Yeah.
we've done that as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
You
think
know,
it's
with
awesome.
several people over
Like
the
Brandon-
years. now.
Unfortunately, I don't do the show
Sinofsky.
enough.
Yeah, Brandon Sinofsky, we met him last year, right?
Yeah.
And it's like we haven't done anything yet, but it's like
Sky High.
so many ideas have gone back and forth. Yeah, and so that collaborative nature, forming partnerships, you never know when something's going to come up and be like, oh, they make this thing, we could integrate it. Hey, let's just work together. You know what I mean? Rather than like the whole competition thing. I just never understood that growing up. I guess it motivates certain people, but we always just say we don't compete, we create. We just keep moving forward on our own stuff, and that's opened us up to a lot of conversations with people we may never not have had before. So
And we're about to see a live collaboration. Shane, can you use your bottle opener?
Nice.
Appreciate it.
it's the magic
everybody.
is happening right now.
So this is it.
It goes. He's going to hand it back to him.
Bam.
We've
Thank
done
you,
it.
Thank you.
We've done it.
$100 right there.
That's customer service.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about your Aurora's amplifiers that you're going to be coming out with a little bit, Ethan.
Yeah. So right now we have the DG3K and DG90.4. Drew, who's obviously gonna have our bass knob. He already has the amplifiers. He's gonna be putting, I believe it's 12 of them in his truck.
It's a 12 3Ks?
Yeah, it's 12 3Ks, but they are like a good bit more than 3Ks. It's like,
That's how they should be.
yeah, I think it's like
Always underrate your product.
3270.
yeah, but
Ks.
at like it's like 3300 at like 12.8 volts. Or
That's
something.
not as fun as a model number.
Yeah, no, and so they're over 4,000 watts at 14.4 volts. So he calculated like what they actually dynoed at, and for 12 of them it's like 52,000 watts or something like that.
You could say it's 3K at 12 volts.
Yeah,
right?
that's what it is. That's how we rated it.
Right.
We wanted to rate it
12
at
volt
12,
ratings.
12.8.
I like
and-
12 volt ratings.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, hell, if you're really bumping hard, your system, you're dropping voltage a little bit anyway. Well, a lot of people do,
Yeah.
unless you have a hell of an electrical system.
Yeah, and I have a variable DC supply on my bench, so I was able to test like the exact. I have a video of the exact max voltage to them, and it's like they'll take 16.76 volts in or something like that.
That's pretty high.
Yeah, I don't know what they would dyno at that voltage in, but probably a lot. But yeah, they're warranted for half ohm use. I've been running one in my car at 0.35 for like a year now, and it doesn't even get warm. It's on a single ZV612.
Sweet.
Yeah, and then I have the 4-channel in there as well. It's Class AB. Same deal with that.
I love Class AB amps.
Yeah, it sounds really
that's
good.
my
I've got
shit.
it on SA coaxes all the way around, and it sounds really good in there.
I need you to make just a straight up Class A amp next.
Oh, jeez.
It'd be like this
Yeah,
big.
it'd be huge, and it would be super hot.
Yep. Fans.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Are the amps designed in-house?
No, they're from Xenon.
Okay. Which
so-
is good source.
And you know
Yeah.
how to work on them. So
Yeah,
there you go.
absolutely. So I mean, we picked the ones that we've had experience with and that we
Yeah.
know are really good amplifiers, and then
Stout,
obviously we designed the
long-lasting.
case, and yeah, so
There's a funny sound. It's normal. It happens.
Okay.
I've got sound gremlins in the board over here.
Someone's phone.
I don't know what it is. It just pops up from time to time. Just weird noises.
I just got a message.
Cool. Oh, that might be what it is. So you have the 90.4
Yep.
and a 3000.
Yep.
And what's future?
Yeah, so hopefully before too long, we're gonna do a 1K because that's we have like a brick and mortar shop as well where we do
Right.
installs and stuff. It's not just our online business.
What,
And
what's the name of that company again?
Exclusive Audio.
Exclusive. With an X, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's spelled funny. And so, I mean, the most common amp we sell there is a 1K by far. Like, we sell mostly
Right.
1Ks.
Because
So
most people don't want to upgrade their electrical system
exactly.
too much.
And you can, I mean, in my opinion, you can get, like, the most popular thing we sell is 2 E12s and then a 1K. And I think you can get pretty loud on 2 E12s and a 1K. So.
What we find is a lot of people and a lot of dealers have this problem too. Is their customer wants a 3,000 watt woofer, 3,000 watt amp, but they don't realize they have to do all that extra. They have to spend
Yeah.
just as much money on their electrical system to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's it's unfortunate, but 1K amps they sell like crazy. And
Yeah.
15, we sell a lot of 1500s here.
Yeah.
That's like our biggest selling amps. 1500s and 3Ks are the biggest selling.
Yeah, the issue is, so people obviously want the most for the least amount of money, and with a 1K you can get away with a 4-gauge wiring kit.
Yep.
When you go up to 1500, you have to go up to the 0-gauge, so then it adds a whole extra amount to the bill that
Cool.
people don't
And you
always wanna
sell
pay.
Sundown wire too. So
Yep, Sundown wire,
Boom.
Sundown subs, speakers, absolutely.
Is the amp lab going to come out with subwoofers next?
We need to fill out an amp line first,
Yeah.
and we're
The
working on
sub
so
lab.
many other projects as well. We have a million things going on right now, so
I bet. And start hiring some more people over there.
yeah, absolutely.
We keep you busy. I know that at least.
Sure do.
Do you do refurbs for any other companies like how we do, where you're our source for refurbished stuff? Do you have other companies too?
A Surge. So Colin,
Surge.
Colin at Surge. We do all of his. I don't believe he sends anywhere else. And then Wolfram, because Wolfram is still running. Some people
Someone
don't know
found
that.
it.
They are.
Wow.
They pay me, so I
Oh,
know
hey.
they're still running.
Yeah, right. Jeez.
Yeah, so they're still going, and they use us sometimes as well, but they're not doing a ton, so it's.
I have to respond to a few people. Big Jeff, I tried calling you earlier because I wanted you to come on the show. So if you are going to be here today, Friday, come on down. You're welcome. You're welcome at the table. I'll be doing a show on and off all day today.
Will work for fannies.
And then Kendrell, yes, you were supposed to be here. We were supposed to finally meet you in person.
Kendrell,
but you
definitely
couldn't make it. So
great supporter.
maybe next year. Yeah, Kendrell's the man. He was our #1 Sundown After Dark fan forever.
Yeah, definitely.
Big Jeff, that was very flattering. He says Sparked is #1. Thank you very much. That's
Sparks the shit.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I don't remember what the hell we were talking about.
Well, you took a
Talking about the
detour.
Amp Lab,
Yeah.
hiring more people.
You
So
get-
if
you getting bigger.
anyone out there works on amplifiers,
It takes a very special person to do that type of work.
Yeah, definitely.
That's why we don't even do it here.
Yeah.
We actually tried to hire Ethan and Troy to come work for us, but like, nah, we're good. We got our own thing going.
We got enough lobster
They
up in Maine.
Right.
Oh,
You have to pay us in lobsters.
love that.
Yeah, you guys can't afford
By
the
the way,
lobsters.
why don't?
I know. I
you're
should
supposed
come
to
down here.
bring 'em, dude.
I should come down here. I should get a carry-on and just fill it with lobsters.
All the lobsters. You know,
Yeah.
the airplane's okay. They don't mind. You know,
It's like-
you put them in a cage.
It's like Cantiel. She has that seafood.
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
And she'll post these pictures of these blue claws.
Oh, she makes glorious food.
Oh.
They have like a food truck, I believe they do.
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think
I'm
they have
so
a
jealous.
store and a food truck.
But see, here's the thing, and I've learned this like with relatives that I have that live in Seattle, New Jersey.
Mhm.
They're used to having access to all the fish and everything that they always want. So like blue claw, they just go into the bay and
Right.
grab some and then cook them up.
I remember when I used to live in Pennsylvania, we would go to New Jersey, and my great grandfather had a house on a lagoon in Mystic Island, which is not far from Atlantic City. So he had a boat, but like as a kid, I couldn't just take the boat out. So I would take a fish head, put it on a hook, on a long rope string, and just throw it out there, and you reel it in really slow. You usually have about 2 or 3 crabs trying to get the fish head, and you just take a net and scoop them right up, and there you go. There's your dinner.
Yep.
You know, for free.
You take it for granted too, like how like abundant it is. Same thing with lobster.
Yeah.
It's like oh, it's a delicacy around here.
Yeah, not up
Right.
there. You can get it during some months. You can get it super cheap.
It's like
cheaper
triple
than
the
steak.
price here
Oh,
than it is
yeah.
where you are.
I went with one of my friends to the coast one day to get him a 4-wheeler. So we went to this guy's house, a used 4-wheeler, and we pull up there, and he's got a ton of lobster traps out. And I'm like, "Oh, you a lobsterman?" He's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "What? You want some lobster?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Just follow me." And we drive down to the bay, and he just goes out on the dock, grabs one of his traps, pulls up a bunch of lobsters, fills the bucket up with fills a 5-gallon bucket up with lobsters. It was like $50 or something. It was like
Dude.
12 or 15 lobsters.
Dude.
And just left with a whole bucket
That's
of
$1,200 or
lobsters.
$1,500.
That's a feast.
Yeah, no, it was, yeah, I mean, I just brought it home.
Big Jeff, thank you very much for the super chats, man. Thank you.
Yeah, it was great, though. I just fed the whole family.
But anyway, next time you get a bucket,
Yeah, exactly.
bring it
You
all
just
down.
find a random person on the coast, have a 5-gallon bucket filled
You might
up
as
with
well have
lobsters.
have Andy do your big tank. You know, he'll
That's right,
set
you
up.
do the fish stuff.
I got
Yeah,
a
yeah,
9
yeah.
by 5 foot pond in my basement.
Big Jeff, thanks
I'm
again
used to
for the
shipping them,
big
too.
the big chunk of money
You could
there.
raise them, you know, and have like a whole bunch just chilling
Cleanest
there.
of waters.
Oh, that'd be great because
Oh, Greg would love it.
the thing they say about Jersey crabs is that they, what? Oh,
Is it on
that-
time? Yeah, we do all day.
yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah, what are you worried about?
If you need to get up and do something, you can do that.
Yeah, you
We will get to you here.
You
in
got
a second.
antsy in your pantsy? You okay?
I was just doing sign language.
They say yeah. Anyway, Jersey crabs, they everything has to be filtered out for the crab to live, so that goes through their lungs and through what would like technically be like I guess their kidneys or whatever.
I hate seafood.
And
so
since
I
there's a
wanna
lot
cut
of
'em off.
toxins and like they're basically bottom feeders, so they're subject to whatever is in Jersey water, which I'm not going to say is the cleanest.
Oh, it's tough.
So you know you don't have the benefit always of somewhere like Maryland or the Carolinas where there
How
would be.
old do lobsters live?
As long as they
Old,
can live.
yeah, like,
until something kills
It'll be
it.
100 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I think though if you get like a really old one, I think it's full of mercury and you're not supposed to eat it though.
They're not as good tasting anyway.
Yeah, they're tougher.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I love
the reason
butter.
I mentioned the crabs is some like aquarium like him, he could feed it, better food,
Yeah, like
cleaner
good
food,
nutritional food.
and
yeah.
after a while, you know what I mean, the quality of the meat would go up, and
I've eaten some of the big fish. I mean, I have 2 foot, 3 foot fish, and they die. They're not going to waste.
are you serious?
Absolutely, the water's pristine. There's nothing that gets added to it.
So you
It's
still
RO
doing
water.
you still doing the what'd you call it? You had
the
a name.
cichlids?
Yeah.
No, so I had all 74 of the tanks and 12 ponds in the basement. Moved that to a place out in
Your house
Hamilton.
must have been humid as fuck, dude.
50% all the time.
Like your whole basement is full of fish.
Yeah, I did a full system down there to make sure none of that happened.
Damn.
He presses a button and it does water changes. It's
Correct.
ridiculous.
Actually, I just tell Google to do it. Actually.
I didn't know you had all that stuff. That's pretty awesome.
It's all autonomy.
Because every time I saw you post pictures, like, man, his house must be humid as fuck out there.
It stays between 45 and 53 down there.
Huh.
That's
And
amazing.
It just stays hot because I don't heat. There's way too much water to heat, so the
Right.
basement stays at 80.
He also has a Scottish fold cat.
I do, a Scottish fold. And
What's that?
It's a cat that
A
looks
cat
like
with
its
little
ears were
ears
cropped
that-
from birth.
Oh, okay.
They're pretty gnarly.
It's
Super expensive.
I've seen bobtail
My
cats.
rich
before.
neighbor gave it to us.
It's just a regular house cat.
It is.
Yeah.
But they're like $2,500 is what she paid
Because
for
they
it.
cut
So
the
it's-
ears?
No, they don't cut them. That's how they're born.
Oh.
That's why it's weird. It's a
Okay.
Scottish fold and British short hair.
I wonder if they have worse hearing because they don't have the actual ears to do the moving.
This is the only calm cat we have. The other ones I think are on crack.
That happens.
It's about right.
We got 2 cats. They're fun. They're very different, right? Yeah. I have one really fat one.
Yeah,
He's,
one of them decided to play with a rattle ball this morning.
Oh, yeah. That
But-
was probably Fluffy.
Oh, I was guessing it was the fat one because it was like 10 seconds and I thought it got tired.
Well, that's possible. But he usually won't play unless you play with him. Like if you throw a ball or something, he'll play with you.
Okay.
Or if you have a little feather thing. But the other cat will find her toys and actually play with them.
Yeah, see, our cat is a not purebred, I guess yeah, it's a Russian blue. And
That's Russian blue.
yeah, in order to get it purebred, they made it with a wild Russian blue.
Mm-hmm.
And
wow.
yeah, so it was like $800.
Jesus.
It's a wedding gift for my wife. But anyway, he's now 12 years old, but he's lean and looks like a kitten. And we're trying to figure out why, because it's not the quality of the food or anything like that. And we realized since the kids were born, we had a gate in front of the stairs that go between the bottom floor and the top floor, and that's where he goes most as far as traffic, because his litter box is downstairs.
Right.
So what we noticed is he'll never go underneath, even though there's plenty of space. He's used to jumping from the first step, which is down, all the way up to the gate and over. So it's a huge leap.
Yeah.
So every day, several times a day, he's making that up and down.
So he's using a lot of power.
Yeah, and so he's getting exercise.
Right.
We didn't realize it. We're
Would you like to trade?
wow.
I have a Russian blue too. That's my fat one. You want to trade for like
Yeah,
like
and
a
see
year?
if my theory
and
is
see-
correct.
Yeah, yeah. Now mine's not purebred. We got it for free.
Yeah.
Somebody just gave it to us, but he looks like a Russian blue.
Yeah,
name-
there's
his name's Cookie, and he likes to roll on his he likes to rub his tummy, and he's fat. And he's like me. He's me as a cat. Actually, when he was younger, he was just built. Like, did you ever see a cat that's just built like a motherfucker?
Oh yeah.
That was him, and it just turned into fat. He had the biggest balls I've ever seen on any cat. and then we cut them off, get them fixed, and then he just got fat after that. So.
Remember Fuzzy Nuts?
Yeah. It was Mr. Fuzzy Nuts.
Yeah, Mr. Fuzzy
Yeah.
Nuts.
It was we used to rent a shop on a farm, and it was a farm cat that would come in because he knew we either had food or were friendly, and he just had huge fuzzy nuts.
And he would watch us do installs. It was great.
Yeah.
You're sitting there, you're sweating, you're underneath the dash and then he just like hops in the seat and is like checking out what you're doing.
Yeah.
I have a video of me sitting on an 18-inch TSNS, and I plugged it into a wall socket, and he was there in the doorway behind the camera, and he just took off. As soon as I turned on, plugged it in the wall socket, this cat, you see a cat jump when it's scared.
Yeah.
Obviously, you plug a woofer into a wall socket, it's gonna freak out.
Remember
a
the
cat.
old TSNS? Remember the big ass motor on that thing, JD?
Top secret ninja shit.
That's right.
Yeah.
You gonna come back out with that thing? I know you're working. I know you didn't want to talk too much about Prodigy, but you gonna come out with anything similar to that again?
Yes.
Sweet.
Not under the name, but yeah, similar. Yep.
Cool. If you want to divulge into that, you're welcome to. I know you wanted to kind of keep.
You want me to
things
do
under
the
wraps.
intro?
It's top
of
secret
JD
ninja
here?
shit, so I can't.
There's a
I understand.
there's a 10-year reunion right here.
Yeah,
Right.
I hadn't seen Ed since my wedding in
No shit.
2013.
Yeah.
He's like, I just went to your wedding.
Yeah.
I was like,
Time
yeah.
we're busy. We do stuff, and this is my birthday twin. So there might be people out there. Once in a while, I get people that ask me about T3 and what's Jonathan up to, and this is we were best friends. We're birthday twins, right?
Yeah.
I used to stay at his house, and we were talking about the Blue Ridge Parkway.
We actually slept in the same bed one time.
Yeah. And I showed you my hairy ass.
Oh, that was nice. That was nice.
But talking about the Blue Ridge Parkway, some of my best memories were like when I stayed with him in Georgia. I would stay for like a month and then drive home to visit. And once in a while, I would go through the Blue Ridge Parkway. And, you know, we're in Philly, it snows.
Mm-hmm.
I was down in Atlanta for like the one snowstorm they had. But there were times where it didn't snow, and I'm going up through the mountains. And I remember coming up this big hill. As I get to the top, I start seeing snow. And like the trees were pretty, and like the sun was shining at an angle where it was making the snow glow as it was falling. And I was the only one on the road. It was like Lord of the Rings. And this is on the Blue Ridge Parkway. That's how I wanted to tell a story. And I was going back and forth in the T3 days to visit Jonathan and then go home. And some of those memories, like the mountain house and all that stuff,
Yeah,
like
that was nice.
and that was the start of my real car audio career. Even though I was an installer and a competitor for many years, this was like the industry getting into it for those couple years of that magic. And now Jonathan is doing Prodigy stuff, the battery bus bars, and like you see them all over. Steve Sorrentino's here for the show, and he rocks his stuff a lot. And our stuff, he's a big fan. Back in the MTX days, too.
Yeah.
He's coming here?
Those were good days.
Yeah, Sorrentino, yeah.
No shit.
He's
I
here.
don't think I've
He's
ever
here.
met him in person.
He was here last year.
And we got Shane Kerrigan here. Like, we got SPL legends
Right.
in the house.
So Shane Kerrigan is my business partner with Prodigy.
But also an
Right.
SPL legend in
Okay.
his own right. You had that Blazer, right? Was that what it was?
Green Blazer, yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't a legend, no.
You're a legend.
It was a
trust
beautiful
me.
install,
Yes.
and it sounded
JD
really
used
good.
to make some really beautiful doors. I've seen you do some of your door work.
Yeah.
Some pristine work.
I used to be an installer.
Yeah.
I went to RTTI back in the mid-'90s, and I know all the bigwig guys
I went
to
to
help.
those schools
so.
too, but I never made doors look that nice. You made some damn good looking doors.
Thank you.
Were you an installer or an installer?
Yes, I was an installer. Installer.
Okay, installer.
Install.
Did you get burnt out? I got burnt out, and that's why I stopped
Everything I
doing
do,
it.
I get burned out.
Yeah, yeah. I used to do a lot of remote starts, and I did the breathalyzers in the cars.
Oh, I
I-
hated those.
I would
I
do
kept
a-
my own mouthpieces because the dudes would come in with like them just sitting on a cigarette ash-ridden
Yeah.
seat, and
Oh,
they're
dude.
all crusty.
Oh, yeah, disgusting.
Anyway, different story.
Yeah. And I would do some custom like fiberglass jobs, maybe a couple a year, but I would just get burnt out from it. And
I like it. It's very peaceful when I'm building, but I had a back surgery a few years back, and
Yeah.
I'm just not what I used to be. Trying to get up in the Suburban that we're building, all upside down and inside out, and welding upside down, and my body's starting to feel it. But so
understand.
this might be my last install.
I remember the first time we had our show at the track here in Hickory. I took some pictures of some nice doors. I didn't know that you did them, and you're like, "Yeah, I did those." It's like, no shit. It's like, these are the best damn doors I've ever seen.
Thank
So-
you. I appreciate it.
There you go, JD.
Thank you.
Let's move things over to Spark Innovations and let's talk about some of the stuff that you guys have going on here. It's new.
Yeah.
We don't have it.
That
can't hook it up.
that thing that's on top. I want to
Here we
say
go.
that we may have talked about that last year, but
No, I don't think we had that last
Yeah.
year.
I'm giving
think
one
you
to
talked- I
JD
think you
as a
talked
gift.
about it.
By the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
You can have that. We do have more. If people are
Merry
at
Christmas.
the show and want these, we'll do a show special. It's a USB car
Here,
charger.
let's do this. Let me do a product cam for you. Real quick.
Product
There you go. Do you want to take it from there?
I'm trying to get to Sundown. I need like Wi-Fi access, I think, because I don't get
I
this
can
reception.
The,
I can
there
help
we
you
go.
with that. If you go, I'll put the code in for you.
Yeah.
Why is it all red?
What?
Gloria Allred.
He's got his glasses.
Anyway, talk about it. Tell us what you're showing off there.
Here you go, Rich. Take
Okay.
it.
So wait, where is it now?
It's this camera right here.
There we go.
Just
Ah,
the middle.
okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so it is a USB car charger that is RGB, and you get the benefit of having different colors. It goes basically through all.
It's a
Colors of the
constant
rainbow?
cycle. You
Yeah.
plug it in, and it'll just go through its own fading cycle. But
Yep.
the good thing about a car charger is it supports all the latest fast charging protocols.
Good. Yeah.
So it does charge faster than like most any. I know Andy has another one in your car, but at this price point, it is one of the fastest chargers out there, and it has a voltmeter in it.
That's cool.
Which is pretty accurate too. It has USB-C and regular USB.
Hey.
Nice.
So
And
what makes that better than, let's say, if I just bought like an Anchor one or something like that?
Anchor is really good. So
They do make good products.
They really do. It's it's a
Well,
USB
by the
car
way,
charger.
It's cool looking.
Yeah. So what
the voltmeter.
we always try to add the spark.
And the transparent case that is like a solid.
Yeah. So
feel
it,
aluminum.
You gotta put the bling in there. That's
Yeah.
what you guys do.
so it goes. You can see the circuit board. But there's not only so much you can do in that form factor. One of the suggestions, so people are saying, can I pick my own color or can I turn the light off?
Yeah.
Right now,
This
that's
one's
not a
for
thing.
Brian.
But
For having
shit.
us on the show.
that's for you, man.
Well, thanks, man.
Yay.
I highly appreciate it.
You surely.
This is beautiful. I'm gonna put it in my truck for when I do more
Hi, Jamie.
installs work on it.
Ah.
People can see it.
How
So-
you doing?
These.
Let me do product cam again for you. Bam. There you go.
Let me
My
see if I
sister
can
came
move
on
this.
through the comments.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, somebody else keep a look at the comments. I have so much going on. I got cameras, I got microphones, I got people I'm trying to listen to, and I always forget to look at the comments, and I apologize, guys.
You should be sorry.
And thank you for purchased viewer for their $5. Let's see, what does he say? You have received 10 free views courtesy of Big Hefe Audio.
Thank you, Barrick Builds.
Yeah, definitely awesome.
Appreciate the comments.
Okay. It's a little dusty, like dusty roads. But this is our single DIN switch panel that is now machined aluminum.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So you guys have seen this pretty much from the beginning. It's been 6 years. That was one of the
They
first
used
products.
to be plastic. The aluminum.
I remember when you guys used to just make the buttons, and that was all you made.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's what we started with. And so this is kind of like the upgrade. You got bevel edges, you got a countersunk screw hole in there. We provide you with the right size stainless steel screw so that it's nice and flush when it's installed.
And pull it down to show the black one. The black one. So we're doing the smoked. It's a tinted transparent acrylic faceplate, so you can
Oh,
see
I
the
see
Spark
that,
logo
yeah.
there. Now we will be doing an Econo version that does not have the acrylic insert, so no labels, and it'll be all black. It'll have like that pocket where
Oh yeah. So I was thinking this black
where the
one,
logo is.
I was thinking this black one was plastic. No, this is the metal as well.
Yeah,
it's
it's a
aluminum.
really nice satin finish that we went with, and
this is
it looks plastic, but it is very solid.
this right here.
It is because I
That's
smashed it with
cool.
my drill and it left no
Flip
mark.
it over. It's
There you go, Nick. Right.
there you
Hi,
go.
Nick.
Yeah, that's high. It feels extremely high quality.
Yep.
Here you
And we found a way to get these things machined, sandblasted, anodized, and
And we got the voltmeters in here. You can put, like, we have many different versions of voltmeters. That's the temperature sensor.
yeah, they're
in
both
these.
thermometers.
And we do have a voltmeter now that has a capacitive touch switch on it, so you don't have to
Oh.
wire it up through a switch if you don't want.
Don't have to
You
waste
can
it.
still have that if you want it to come on with
If
ignition.
anybody
and
wants a
relay
drink,
box.
we have drinks in the fridge here.
There you go.
I've
Pop 'em
got
open.
White Claws and Bud Light Zeros or whatever the hell they're called.
Now I know Prodigy does aluminum stuff.
They
but
also do aluminium.
yes, if you need some
Yeah,
switch
yeah.
panels for
Now,
your builds,
These buttons,
and it is DIN sized.
don't you sometimes you have certain buttons that have like a little
Power symbol.
power
There's the
symbol
power
or a
symbol
little
ones. We have the
a
SPL
little horn
one.
symbol or different things?
You
No,
don't have
we-
the horn.
Yeah, we have one that's SPL and one with the power symbol. We thought about doing all those, but it's like there's so many things we can do.
Yeah, I understand.
So the biggest seller is this, which is just a blank switch with the halo ring. So these light up. For people that don't know, is this still on? I don't know if you can see it.
Is this thing
Is the
on?
thing on?
Here, I'll do it. There you go.
The switches, if you see that little kind of whitish gray ring around it, that's actually, there's an LED that illuminates that. We have red, green, blue, purple, white, different colors.
You just customize whatever color you want, right?
Yeah. So, and you can have the voltmeters in red, green, blue, purple, white. So, you have your options there. You can match them. You can mix and match them. We found that these ones without a symbol on it were by far the most popular. So doing things like the horns and stuff, I've actually engraved these on the laser and have done custom things like that. But, that's very rare. to
Right.
do.
Gotcha.
If you had a laser or you wanted us to do it, I will do it for you, no problem.
What I like about that most is that when you put it in your hands, it feels like it's heavy.
Mm-hmm.
It feels quality. Doesn't feel like it's cheaply made anywhere.
Yep.
It just has a wonderful feel to it, and it feels like it's going to last a long time.
Oh yeah.
It will. And we have several sizes. We have the ones that fit in the Tahoes,
Right.
in that lower pocket that fit our meters and also fit SMD meters. So if someone has SMDs, either the TM1 or the voltmeter or the output meter, any of those, we give you the hardware and whatnot and instructions to be able to put in SMD meters as well.
Do the
That's cool.
do the switches come with the pigtails that
Yes.
just plug
Yes.
onto the back?
They'll have a pigtail, and then if you use our relay box, we have an optional cable that plugs directly in, so you don't have to wire it.
Gotcha.
But
Nice.
it will come with a pigtail to wire it up to
Yeah.
whatever
So
you want.
so the switch turns on. The light turns on when pressed.
Okay.
So it's all pre-wired ahead of time.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
And for troubleshooting, that made my
Kendra
life
wants
so
pink
easy.
lights.
There you go. Pink lights.
Pink
Yeah.
lights.
We have the
Yeah.
purple.
Yeah, purple. So it's a weird thing. So unless you have RGB LEDs in there, it's difficult to get purple. So the best we can offer is a pinkish purple.
There you go, Kendra.
And when you go closer to actual purple, you're getting into the ultraviolet, which your eyes
You're
are
right,
not very
yeah.
sensitive to.
Even blue
Yeah.
tickles my eyeballs a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
So
Kendra asked about Fanny.
it's not bright. So there's Fanny.
So
Fanny
Kendra
Jr.
asked about Big Fat Fanny.
That's a good-looking
Now,
fanny right there.
Big Fat Fanny is not being made. That was a special edition, limited production.
Who was that for? I don't remember.
We only did all right. So we did 10 up front. That was like a promotional kind of thing. And then I was bugging Ed to do 10 more because everybody was bummed out.
Because we sold out like
Right.
immediately.
Yeah, literally.
They were awesome.
It
It
went-
was
I think
it was
DeMuth
like,
had
it was
same
like
day.
2
Yeah, I
foot
bought
long,
number
wasn't it?
10. We're going to use it in our Suburban.
There you go.
Oh yes. And so what we did was we knew we wanted to redo Fanny. We wanted to here. I'll give it to you for the product.
Well, I got it on that camera right now.
Yeah, you can
Oh,
put it
okay.
right there.
Oh.
We used it almost like a concept car. So build techniques and design language that we then trickled down into. This is the new Fanny Junior, and we also have the dual motor, the Fanny version,
Fanny Junior.
that use Big Fat Fanny techniques as far as the base, the machining, the way the illumination is. We trickled those techniques down to this, the standard Fanny and Fanny Junior. So this does have a full NeoPixel RGB programmable LED illumination in it.
Cool.
So you can tap in Bluetooth from your phone, go to pretty much any tone of color, change your brightness, even turn the light
make it
off.
work with the rest of the
Yeah.
build.
100
I like
so you'll get a QR code to scan for the app, and it'll have 120 sequences and pre-programmed things in there. And then I guess you can like get your own app and tap in if you really want, but 120 is pretty much anything you'd want to do.
And it mounts two ways too, so that you can have it
on its back
on
and
its
on
back
the
and
bottom.
on
Yeah.
the side. Yeah, and it's versatile in that the way that you can have it run to cool an amp. There we have standoffs that you can buy separately, and that'll raise it up. So if you have like a salt amp or something that's like pretty tall, you can get it so that the airflow goes over the heat sinks.
Yep.
But you can
Mount
also
it on the back on your wall or something.
Yep, and have it pointed at.
Yeah. Illumination isn't the only difference with this. We're using aluminum standoffs in the housing, a thicker base.
It's a different shape.
It's more solid
Yeah.
and slightly different. We opened up the sides where the old one,
Is
you had to
this
use
the-
a thin screwdriver to mount it.
Is this the Junior?
This is
This is the
Junior.
Junior. This is the
so
one
because
motor.
the other one's got two fans.
two fan
and
motors.
it's like more just a rectangular.
Right.
Correct.
It's about 12 inches wide, so it's just over what a standard amplifier would be. So it can cover the whole heatsink.
So what's the retail on this?
So this is 90, and then Fanny is 125.
It's not a huge difference, but it depends. If you need something smaller, you have the option now.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that.
And that was one of the requests. We came out with Fanny back in 2020, I think it was, and
That year didn't happen.
yeah, right. Every now and again, we would get the request like, "Oh man, I wish it were a little smaller. I have a 4-channel I want to cool down, and I don't need a giant Fanny for that. So we came out with the half version, and it's almost just as popular in terms of like sales numbers.
Yeah.
Fanny does do a little bit more,
And Big Jeff was on, and he was wanting more. Big Jeff does have them in stock. If people.
Well,
are
he said he
looking
was
for them.
running out, so that
Okay.
Gotta get that fixed.
I mean, I think Down for Sound has them. Maybe
Showtime.
Showtime, yeah.
Yep,
Showtime
Sky High.
Yeah.
I know
Car Audio Direct in Canada.
Southern Thunder.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. At any given moment, because of the popularity, you know, I know a guy that called the other day and he says, I need 6 Fannies and 6 Fannie Juniors. And I was like, all right, well, here are the list of dealers. And he came back and he said, well, this one's out and this one's out. And I was like, all right, we'll try this one. So that's one of the things that we've learned in the past couple months, really, especially with bringing on Big Jeff, is you know, we have to crank up our production capabilities. So we've got active plans to put that into place by the end of the year, so that we can scale up. So that'll be
I was going
exciting.
to ask, are you guys still building these by hand in house?
Yeah.
Currently, I want to go on. So first off, shout out to Living Loud with Andy. He says he's got the Fannie Junior in his quad box build, and he can't hear it over the kids. So that's an important thing. It is fan. It's going to make noise.
Yeah.
But it's not
Yours
like
are
the
the
jet
quietest
engines out
ones
there.
I've heard.
Yeah. But and Rich has just touched on something. There's something exciting we're working on with a new phase in our business. And, you know, Ethan was talking about, you know, growing, and you bought the building and all this stuff. We're getting to that level, and we have now Andy Mack,
Mr. Mack,
as a potential or prospective new person to work with.
You kind of
us.
have to make it happen now that you're talking about it on
Well, yeah.
Well, that
I like the sound of that more.
it is. I mean, he's here. He's with us.
Right.
So we're growing.
I didn't even know you were bringing this guy.
Yeah, we're
That's
growing.
why I
We're
brought
hiring.
him.
Yeah, we didn't even realize. See, so again, talking about the past couple months, a lot of things have been converging, and it's funny because these are two atheists, but you know, like they've gotten as close to saying it was divinely inspired as I've ever heard them.
Right.
Just because
Yeah, I lived in Georgia with this guy.
it's like just because so much has been happening, it's like, wait a second, what? And then getting these people just showing up in our lives and
It's called
giving
the
us
power
advice.
of attraction.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
real
a
thing.
firm believer in that.
Believe or you're gonna burn in hell.
Oops.
That's why I showed JD my hairy butt the once. Power of attraction, you know.
Oh yeah, but yeah.
Shaved it with the weed whacker.
When you set a goal, right, 5 years down the line, and you say this is where I want to be in 5 years, well, my personal timeline is up in January. That was my 5 years, and you start to get nervous, and you're like, man, it's getting close, and I'm nowhere near the goal, and what's going to happen? And the stories that I've heard from successful people before is
Jake will tell you this one.
this kind of like it happens all at once type of thing, and you just run with it. You just when it shows itself, you just follow it, and that's where we're at, and it's really exciting, and it's kind of scary but fun.
Jake and Nick Wright are the two people that will tell you that same story. Like, man,
Oh, really?
they're like, it was like 5-6 years. They're doing pretty good, and all of a sudden, like a breakthrough happens, and it's like it just excels from there.
Right.
So, and that's when he was able to hire me and Derek and a couple other people and just go to town, man.
Yep. Like,
That's when we came out with the mega roll stuff.
oh, okay.
It was like around year 7-ish,
Right.
somewhere around there.
Well, and you know, there's friends, mentors that we have in the industry, Scotty being one of them, and you know, he's watching us for 6 years, and then starts to let us know that, like, you know, he's starting to see things that we might not see just yet, and you can kind of notice where things are headed from the outside, but from the inside, Ed and I we're so into the weeds, doing things every day.
Right.
Yeah, but we've awakened, and now that's what's exciting.
Right.
All this came from the question: are these still handmade? Yes, they are. However, we're going to bring on more people.
Yes.
That are capable.
Yes.
He has a lot of relevant experience, and because you know, I'm still involved in the daily production, and I haven't been able to design more SKUs to get out there. There's
Right.
a lot of ideas and things in the beginning stages of the works, but we haven't put out what we need to put out as far as new products. And so these changes are going to help us grow a lot. And it's not just bringing on more people, it's designing smarter. It's maybe outsourcing machining. I know, like, that sounds scary, like, oh, we build things in-house. That's not necessarily what our strength
you
is.
can
We're
find
not
a local a local
Yeah,
shop.
and
in
we
the
have
area to
partners
help you
we've
do
been
stuff
looking
like that.
at and talking to and dealing with people, and maybe some are overseas, and maybe it's different overseas than what other people do. Maybe,
It's hard to find.
maybe
good
it's
work in
Ireland.
America.
Maybe it's in Ireland, or
Yeah.
maybe there's different places to go to. We
Mexico.
have some people that do aluminum and stuff like that, and that we can talk to. But the idea is we're good at inventing and coming up with things.
Mm-hmm.
We're not a factory on how it's made with all these $1 million machines that fold metal and
Yep.
do all this stuff. We're not that, and we don't want to build that. We don't want to take investment money to buy those $1 million machines just to bend stuff, right?
Right.
We want to come out with the best product we can, and design things that are just cool as shit. I mean,
I think that's a good point you were making. With growth and kind of specializing and kind of learning what you're good at and maybe what your business partner's good at, and then getting employees that are good at certain things. Earlier this year, me and Troy, we decided to make a few kind of big shifts in our business, try things a little bit different. And then just probably 2 weeks ago, we sat down for a business meeting, just me and him, and kind of talked about all of those things going forward. And some of them were really good decisions. They allowed us to focus more on doing things like this and coming out with cool new products. Some of the things didn't work. Luckily, they weren't huge things, and we're like, all right, that didn't work. We should probably go back to how we were doing it before. But yeah, especially as you grow and you can get people to take maybe certain responsibilities for you that you're not really good at, and that are taking you away from being able to do things that you are good at. I think that's pretty important, because Troy and I definitely have very different strengths, and so I don't try to do his stuff. He doesn't try to do my stuff.
You have to go compartmentalize some.
Exactly,
You know?
absolutely, and you have to be able to recognize that
build off your
maybe
strengths.
maybe I shouldn't be doing all of this. Maybe I'm not good at doing all of this, and other
Yeah.
people need to take over some of this stuff, so I can just focus on what I'm good at.
can you elaborate on what your strengths are and what Troy's strengths are?
So I'm not a super creative person, unfortunately. I wish I could say this is all me. This is barely me. I went to school for electrical engineering. I'm really good with math. I'm really good with numbers and stuff like that. And I'm very good with analog circuits too. But I'm not super creative. So he's the really creative person that comes up with these ideas and kind of brings them to life. And I'll help a lot with I also do most of the work with our vendors and collaborating with other people. I'm the one always communicating with Barnaby or Zach Davis or Sundown. I'm handling all of that stuff. I'm really good at multitasking as well. He does not like multitasking. He wants to sit down on his computer and work on this, and no one talk to me. Just let me focus, and I'm fine. I have 10 different people talking to me. I can jump from thing to thing to thing to thing. So in that aspect, we're pretty different with that.
All right, that's a good sign, because from our perspective, you guys are very successful.
Yes.
And there's a lot of congratulations with that. Like I said, the 5 years. And, there are some parallels to what's going on with Rich and I. So that's a good sign for us, I think. And we can converge on a few things and then kind of cover more ground because of our differences.
Right.
And, even going back in the day when I started this journey and started getting this experience with JD here, those lessons were coming because he's like a specialist in many things. And then I started my YouTube stuff and video stuff back then.
You also saw the bad side of the business with me and making some bad choices in investors.
But that's
But that
part
taught
of
you,
where we
taught
both
you lessons
learned.
as well, what to look out for and not,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it takes time to
Yeah.
learn those.
Yeah.
yeah, business is not easy.
No.
Right.
Partnerships usually aren't easy unless you have it laid out in writing or whatnot. You know.
Well, that
Yeah.
that was actually, I still look at that as, I wouldn't say fun experience, interesting and learning
Right.
because of being in offices with lawyers, because of someone trying to screw. JD's one of the best. I know there's some people out there that don't know JD the way I do. He's one of the best guys you can know, not just in the industry, just in general, like kind-hearted. And that's what Rich and I try and do through Sparked also, is we put our principles out there. And we
Kindness is a big one.
right, exactly. And JD was like that too, where he'll look out for you. And he was maybe looking out for me more than himself sometimes. It was
That's
kind of
because I knew you were looking out for me too.
oh yeah,
Mhm, yeah.
because we're birthday twins.
It's a give
That's
and
it.
take, guys.
And a lot of that ended up being him being taken advantage of in business by another party, and me being there because I had his back in the legal stuff. And that is a learning experience. And this isn't the fun part of business. I know people out there viewing are probably, when's the next Fanny coming? When's this coming? Where are you doing Omi
There's
again?
so much behind the scenes
It's
stuff.
like all the behind the scenes stuff, which I hate. And
The
like you were
stuff that
saying,
makes your
he
hair
wants to
get
sit
gray.
at his computer and design and just do this. That's what I want to do. I just want to make cool shit. But all that stuff is necessary. We had to go through that to get where we're at. And Rich is on board to kind of like, one of his specialties is he can kind of bear the brunt of some of that stuff. And you're interested in it for some reason. I don't get it. The interpersonal things and business relations.
Yeah, the buck stops with me. Anything that needs to be absorbed in the company, I have to be that person. It has to fall on one chief individual, and someone's got to set the pace for the company, set the goals, and then keep it all on track. And if it falls apart, it always is my fault. It has to be my fault. And that's the only way is accountability. And so it's definitely stressful. I try to balance that, especially with, the kids at home. When you leave work and go home, when you're an owner,
it's hard to turn work
it's
off.
really hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I
really,
have that
really
problem
hard.
today, and I don't even own the company.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why everyone in car audio that starts a business, at some point they'll learn, like, you've got, well, maybe except for JP, he still answers people on his personal Facebook, but I don't know how he does it. But just about everybody else gets to the point where they're like, no, you can't contact me on my personal social media anymore because people expect you to be available 24/7.
I was telling Andy that story about how I have all these friend requests unanswered because I'm worried as soon as I accept one, it's going to be bombarded with questions.
Because what they do
and then
is
you're a dick if you don't respond to them.
Here's
like,
what they do, and I have the same problem. They'll send you a message, but they're not your friend, so you don't see it immediately, right? Then if you do accept the friend request, like, oh, I might know this guy, hit the button, all of a sudden, boom, there's a message that they sent you.
That's
It's like,
what I
fuck.
did,
It's like I didn't even want to talk to this guy.
Yeah. Well, what I've learned is, so Spark, thank God, I had many corporate jobs, and so the way I approached the business from the beginning was not to be two guys that are audio enthusiasts, and then we just fell into an audio company, a car audio company, and
Like a hobby.
yeah,
It's a hobby turn. That's the worst thing.
I wanted to make it like, all right, we're gonna be the best business owners, right, first, and then we just happen to be in the car audio market, right? So everything we do is with that in mind. So we set up customer service from that mentality. It's never, for me anyway, it's never Ed and Rich. It's Sparked Innovations. We have our tagline for support, for sales anyway, as happiness engineers. Like that's our title. It's not like,
what was my title at T3? Do you remember? I still have the business cards. Director of Fun.
Oh, was it really? Was it really?
Yeah, I suggested it as a joke, and you printed the business cards that way.
That's awesome.
So anytime, again, this is just for me, when people contact me personally and they ask me a perfectly legitimate question about our stuff, I say, hey, I want to answer you, but just do me a favor, message the Spark page so that both Ed and I can see the message and get back to you. And it's just worked. I mean,
I do the
6 years.
same thing. I
6
tell them
years.
to email me. Here's my email address.
Yeah. And as long as you give people that first, hey, I got this, you're in the queue, I will get back to you. Most people are very understanding about that. But we never wanted to be the guys, I mean, we are the face of the company kind of because we have to, but we also have a mascot who's Sparky, who I'm wearing.
Right.
And that's the one. So it's the name of the company. It's an entity. It's going to be larger than us one day, and that's the way it should be. We want it to grow beyond us. And
keep dreaming it. You'll make it happen.
That's kind of like what I'm starting to do as well with my Noisy Boy. I created him back in 1999, and I've brought it into both T3 and Prodigy as well.
Yeah. I absolutely love
the
that.
guy.
There's some people we've when we did do custom panels and stuff that asked to engrave that, but they were still calling him Loud Man.
Yeah, originally he was Ouch Man.
Ouch Man, that's right.
The system was loud as crap and it hurt.
Right.
And he was Ouch Man, and then he turned to Loud Man.
Yeah. And now
But
Noisy Boy.
I like Noisy Boy because I saw that robot fighting movie.
Oh, yeah.
With the Noisy Boy guy. And I like that name.
Real quick, thank you, Scott, for the $5 super chats. My pants might come off later. We'll see what happens.
Ooh.
Kendrell has a question about the switch panel.
For the GM switch panel, do I have to order every switch separately? Well, yeah. So that's part of the reason that we make it customizable. Is you want to choose your finish, choose your style, choose your color. So the finish would be either black or stainless steel look. Style would be halo ring or power symbol or SPL symbol, and then color: red, green, blue, white, purple.
What if you wanted 4 different colored switches?
Well, and that's just the thing. It's that was the Thanos panel that we did, and it was a purple voltmeter, and then like an array of different colored switches.
I think what he's getting at is if I go on your website. By the way, can I buy direct?
Yes, this stuff you can. We're starting to phase kind of over to distribution because
by
it's easier that way.
Our focus is
There's less customers. Well, anyway, I understand.
Yeah.
What I'm getting at is if I go on your website and I want to buy one of these, can I on your website change the individual colors for each switch?
So the way our site is set up, it's set up for 4 switches of any latching or momentary. So they would all be. So if
all 4
it would be all 4 the exact same.
So Kendrell message us on the page.
So yeah, if you want it separately, then just buy it separately on our site. Go to the listing for the red one, order that. Go for the listing for the blue one, order that, and add those to your cart individually.
You do still sell the switches individually.
Yeah, you can buy them individually. We just have it as a builder on our site to make it easier to configure everything all at once. But everything could be purchased individually.
Cool.
Hope that answers your question. Yeah. Let me know if it doesn't.
Well, guys, I think I want to cut it here. We're a little over an hour in.
Oh, wow.
A little over an hour. But I want to thank you all again for coming back on the show. And for the guys that haven't been on the show again before, thank you again. JD, you guys are always welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Yep. And you need to shut the F up, man. You're so
he's a talker.
He's a good listener.
I'm a good listener.
Yeah. But again, thanks again. Thank you guys for watching. We'll probably be back on later. I don't know who we're gonna have or what we're gonna talk about, but we'll make it happen. Thank you. Take care.
Yippee.